Forget. Let me also add everyone on Discord before I forget as well, because I'm going to forget, knowing me. Also, why do my windows keep getting smaller and smaller? What is Windows doing? Windows is fucked, man. Wait, I said the F word at the first like 3 seconds of the YouTube live stream. Is it gonna get demonetized right off the bat? Ah, whatever. You can do that now? Oh shit! I'm well, I thought that was a really stupid rule, but I guess. So we got some bug reports. I probably know why this one's happening. Secrets challenges has been a problem. I'm going to make a system that will check if all of the secrets have been achieved. And then it'll just give you the challenge. This is pissing me off. The secrets are a little bit of a pain in the ass. Apparently music is not resetting when you hit the replay button, which is similar to potentially the trains level. Not resetting. I'd like to make a system to make the player face a specific orientation on spawn for third person, and then keep the facing direction when switching from top down to third person. Yes, okay. Anything in here we can... Player can see enemy silhouettes through themselves. We already fixed that, so we can remove that. Aim assist intensity would probably be a nice thing to implement. I just don't know how we'd go about doing that. Yeah, throwing enemy off an edge sometimes stops them right on the edge. So this isn't really like a bug, but it kind of is a bug. Reloading the game while holding ability shield causes the state to continue and get stuck. Let's fix that. You know, let's get that fixed, even though it's like not a huge bug, but we might as well just get it fixed, you know? Mm-hmm. Reload bullet missing, and the chamber went visually on the Hunter 500 after restarting the chapter. I want to talk about Windows in UE5 and how stupid this shit is. Hey. Or glass in general, you gotta fake it, man. The best glass is those that are faked. Making glass material look realistic is like, just don't even bother, just fake it. Slap a cube map on there and call it a day. Slap a cube map on there and you're all set. You're all set. All right. Haven't attempted to reproduce. Enemies firing off screen top down. Okay, so I know what's going on here. It's when an enemy gets on screen and then gets off screen, their gunfire continues. The solution here is not to stop this from happening, but instead to add a on-screen indicator when you're about to get shot. That should be the improvement there. Dodging an RPG enemy explosion shows perfect dodge, but still kills the player. Okay, so we haven't attempted to reproduce that. Let's do that right now. Let's see if that's still killing the player somehow. Ah, imagine if I deleted that. That'd be crazy. I accidentally delete. I gotta submit on Perforce. I haven't done that in a while. That'd be a good idea. Oh, that was a bad dodge. Well, now we'll be able to see if I die. That must have been a very old bug, and maybe like before the iframe system was in. But let's see. Maybe I have to do a dodge roll. No. I'm gonna go under the assumption that this doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I think I fixed it by adding iframes. So now when you do a perfect dodge, you get like, I think 0.3 seconds or some shit of iframes. So like that probably resolved it a little bit. Yeah, meshing around. How's the life of a millionaire game dev? I am not a millionaire. Before and after taxes. Enemies firing off screen and top down. So this is actually, instead of it being a bug, we need to turn it into like a feature of having a on-screen so we, instead of that being a bug fix, it's a whole ass feature. Player runs into random objects might be due to different fuller meshes. Okay, I had no clue what happened there. Rarely players will feel a slight mouse input lag. That, I think that was just 1 or 2 people that pointed that out, potentially. Executing an enemy with a melee weapon equipped, not giving a magazine. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. That's... You're going to stay in there. You're going to stay in the can't reproduce bugs list. Hey, Hadi. Hello from Lebanon. Hey. Or Haiti. Sorry. It's either Haiti or Hadi. My bad. Dodging taxes you are? I am not dodging taxes. I am being a faithful servant of society by paying my taxes and reporting everything, including my expenses. So I listen, who else is going to write off those Valorant skins I purchased? What a waste of fucking money that was, because I don't even play that game anymore. Hear me out. If you make 2 planes, try to have some volumetric shading. It handles the polygons on the other side as a backface, even when doing its volumetric trickery. On top of that, if you have to make the edges face inward to get a proper edge boundary on the glass, do I have to do this all in one shader or something? Brother, I just faked the glass, man. I just faked the glass, man. Spent around $200 on Valorant skins and quit 2 years ago. I unfortunately spent a little bit over that. I think probably like $300 or $400. I just need to stop fucking giving in to microtransaction. It's just none of it gives me anything. I spent like $200 on Hearthstone. I don't even fucking play Hearthstone. I'm stupid. That was like 6 years ago or something. I'm sorry for having dumb problems. I just don't know Phoenix. Like literally my glass is, this is my glass. It is super basic. You can see it's just a cube map. Now, obviously it's not the most accurate thing in the world because it literally like, you know what I mean? But this is what I do for our glass. At least for my use case, it looks fine. I don't know to what degree you want, how good you want it to look and stuff like that, you know, so. Yeah. Better than mine at the moment? It's literally just a cube map. It's literally just a cube map. Reflection vector, put into a UV of a cube map. There you go, that's it. That's all I did. And then some fancy shit for like, you can ignore the render target stuff. You can like slap in a bit of Fresnel. That gives it a nice little touch as well. Yeah. Oh, golden. Also spent too much on CSGO skins and stickers in 2020, and I stopped playing in 2022. When I first started streaming, or well, after, my first game when I streamed was RuneScape. Long time ago. I've been streaming for a while. I'm talking like, I think at that point, I don't think OSRS was a thing. I think RS2 was still like the RuneScape at the time, if I remember correctly. But then I did Counter-Strike or CSGO. I don't remember how much I put into Counter-Strike, but it's probably a abundant amount. How do you look at that shit again? CS2. I remember it's something with the, not the achievements. Here it is, the trade. I think it was the trading cards. You spend approximately 1,700 USD in the game. Yeah. Most of that, though, was when I was streaming, a lot of people would donate skins. I would sell those skins, and then I'd buy keys, and then we just open shit on the stream. Or I do a lot of giveaways. I used to do a abundant amount of giveaways. It was fucking embarrassing. it was embarrassing. It got to a point where people would just come into the stream for giveaways. They'd be like, giveaway? 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 It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Reload UI not showing during ultimate reloads. Okay, so let's fix that first. Let's fix that first. I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, or at least CSGO. I played like 2,000 hours or whatever. I think you guys saw the play count somewhere here. 1,900. How do you add drones in the game? I don't know. I don't know. Modding? Modding, I guess. Let's see here. Reload UI not showing on the ultimate reloads. Okay, so I know the primary does this, but where? Right here. This would be, I think, the fix, essentially. And then pistol reload is basically just the reload anim. Although it'd be cool to, you know, something I just thought of. The ultimate reload anim could be like a cool fucking flick. Like we could change the animation. I don't know if it's worth it, but it would be cool. I think it would add to the cool. And most of this game is about cool. You know what I mean? We could make it so the ultimate is a different reload anim, and it's like the Keanu flick or whatever you want to call it. Trying to spawn a capsule trace in front of the player so when they're dashing, the capsule collides with the enemy and the enemy goes flying. You could do a capsule trace and whatever it hits, you could launch character those enemies. I don't know how you're setting up those enemies though. But if they're like traditional characters, you could use launch character as a way to launch them. That sounds funny, man. Okay, so if we're using the default now, the ultimate should play the reload anim. Yep. Cool. Okay, so now we just have to do that for all of the other primary weapons that have a reload. I think... Like this, we have apply armor for the single shot. Also, some people were recommending that I debuff this a bit because 3 armor is really, really strong. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It is pretty strong. Um, hmm, yeah, I think before I change this, I want to do a round of balancing for a bunch of the weapons. I think a couple of the weapons I'd want to do buffs and debuffs. I think the revolver could maybe do with a little bit of love. I'm thinking maybe like the reserve magazine for the revolver could be increased a bit. But yeah. I actually think the only ultimate that has a reload is just the default weapon. I don't think any of the weapons do a reload. Also, I just realized, let me put this as another bug in here. Firing, recoil animation, and then crouching causes crouch anim to be delayed. That's really ugly looking. Reload UI nurturing during ultimate reloads. I think that's it. This doesn't reload the thing. This I wouldn't mind the ultimate having an animation like a timer to show that you're actually putting on the, like a progress bar to show that you're putting on the armor, because I think while you put that on you can't shoot, and that's the whole point of the progress bar, is to indicate when you can't fire for certain actions. So that might be something I'd want to change up. Yeah. Have I ever played Prince of Persia? I have not. I have not. I did quite a bit of research into Prince of Persia when I was working on a different game, like looking into like their movement mechanics and stuff like that. Just bought the game and played it for an hour, I think. Thank you to everyone who worked on this game. One of the most fun indie games I played for sure. Nothing but love. Take care. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hell yeah. I hope I hope I can make modding as accessible as possible to allow modders to like do as much as possible. It's just, man, I think there are things we could have done better with the game. That's my only issue. I don't know if I could fix it now though. Like, what would make the game more more sandboxy? Not sandboxy, but like allow modders to treat it in a different way. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't really think there is a way to allow modders to do like more fun, different things for their levels. Sandbox testing room, but I mean like mechanically, what can I offer without, that's not like enormous, you know, like fucking car mechanics, and you know what I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Go on, wait. So that's like achievable. Do I use Cube Grid? Cube Grid's in UE5, right? I do not. You know, I should play Max Payne 3. You know, I should play Max Payne 3. That's something I should play. What about config file stuff? Like, what kind of stuff do you mean, you want? About to quit my job to make some games? Hey, dude, hell yeah. Well, you know, be careful. Do you have some savings and stuff, Sick? Maybe playing with gravity values so they could explore diverse scenarios with enemy waves. To make the experience unique versus the vanilla version. Like being able to have zero gravity. I think modders would technically be able to do that. Because I think that's in the world settings. Isn't gravity scale just something in the world settings? I sure forgot where gravity is. That might even just be a part of the player character. Where actually is gravity? Oh yeah, overworld gravity. Global gravity Z. But now like we're floating. What's the default of the gravity? Yes. Goodbye. Ah! And now we have Superman. Start mapping a bunch of configurations up to config file values, and then on the package game, they could just mess with those config file values. I guess that would require like a JSON file and something that's readable, right? I don't know if that would really make it like... Okay, so when I mean sandboxy, I mean... Probably not the correct word. A diversification of the game mechanics that would allow modders to be able to create and utilize the game's mechanics to create more diverse gameplay situations that isn't just running and shooting. Because at some point, even with moddable levels, I feel like that would get pretty bland. Like a level editor? Well, it would probably have to be like, someone would have to boot up UE427 and like I would probably, at some point it would be cool to give out like a dev kit or work with like, you know, people that are currently modding the game, because we got Mike that's already making a dev kit, so I don't even know if I even need to make one when he might be making like a standardized one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much and, you know, maybe ideas for the next game or something. I don't know. Am I planning on releasing this game on Mac at some point? Would love to have it on my work laptop. No guarantee. No guarantee. You know, like there's a lot of like platforms that I'd like to release on. Like you got PS5, you got Xbox. Some people ask for Switch 2 for some reason. You know, like I don't know. I'd have to see. I think he's Zen. Appreciate that. Serious Sam. Serious Sam, though, I feel like has a nice diversification of stuff, right? Like stuff you can mess around with. What are my plans for Superfire? Mostly just polish, bug fixes, trying to make, you know, try to add a little bit of mod support where I can. And that would mostly just be like, I don't know, if people want to add cosmetics, they don't have to override things. That would ideally be some of the stuff there. Quality of life stuff. At some point, I would like to add like a mode where like the enemies are harder for the people that want that. And then I wouldn't mind also trying to fix up some of the AI here and there as well. Evan? Will there be any more new levels? I can't promise any new levels or weapons. No promises. 2.0? Oh man, it's not 2.0. Maybe you can add a roguelike mode where you go through shorter levels and upgrade your character like The Last of Us 2 No Return. Man, part of me just kind of want to keep that. I kind of want to keep that idea for the next game because I'm essentially going to do a roguelite for the next game for Ronin. And then the zombie roguelite is literally going to be that as well. So it's really funny. I'm going to be doing like 2 games back to back doing the same thing. What's my favorite weapon? I like all of them. They both have like their own little charm to it. I know that's kind of a cheap cop-out. The Deagle, I think, is the most interesting one backstory-wise because it is the closest to the game's old game jam design, which is like you shoot an enemy and they just drop a bullet. They all drop a bullet. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like that the oldest version of the game. And the dual wielding is kind of fun. It's a fun, like, cool look. You can use any files which UE already supports and map those to values within your blueprint. Interesting. I quit my wife and divorced my job to make my dream game. The classic Reddit post. I have 3 jobs right now, but I'm considering quitting the 40-hour week job. Jeez, man, 3 jobs? Jeez. Okay, so it was just the default weapon that didn't have reload UI not showing during ultimate reload during ultimate reload. I think that's literally just the default weapon. Music not resetting when hitting the replay button. Someone, I think, posted that on Steam. When I play and I restart the run of the level at the moment, the music doesn't work anymore. Like maybe it's just the trains level that they're mentioning. It could be trains. Could be trains. Could be just any level? I don't know. Shit. Let's see. Let's go back, turn on. I gotta turn off. Okay, so let's say so I'm assuming they mean hitting the replay button doesn't restart the music. I think this has to do with the trains level. Because I know that level has that issue. So I'm going to assume that their bug report is... I restart the run of the level at the moment the music doesn't work anymore. I'm going to assume it's that level. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's that. Just going to go into the assumption that it's that level. Okay. Music not resetting in trains. Let's try to fix that. Try to fix that. Trains. Wait, that's the last level of those though, right? I think the level starts with the subway entrance. I know what you can add, a 2D side scroller. What the shit? Listen, man, don't get too crazy, okay? Not get too crazy, okay? Okay, small detour is the one we need to figure out. The problem is, let's go to that level real quick. Let me see what it's changing. I think it's changing a parameter, and that parameter is not being reset. And that's the problem. Subway event. Okie dokie. Aha. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Wait, is that it? We just set the position? I swear I thought there was a parameter for that in here. Oh, great. I can't search up fmod. That's great. Let's do music. It's just setting the timeline position. Maybe, shit. Maybe when you hit replay, maybe we restart the music. Let me copy all of this. I have a feeling. No, I'm pretty sure the thing is we set a parameter in here. I swear we set a parameter. Something's not right. That'd be really cool if you could hold the melee button to grapple or take a human shield. There is a grab button. I just recently added it to the tutorial because we didn't have it in the tutorial before. But now it's in the tutorial. But by default it's G. Yeah. What? I threw him into the explosive barrel and that counted as... Oh, that damages him because it counts as the barrel hitting him. You know what? That's kind of funny. I'll leave that in. When does a bug become a feature to you? Some devs look at fun, skills, expression, because it's harmless and goofy. Like we have one bug where... what was the bug? Oh, right. You can grab an enemy and like dive holding them. Honestly, like it's just funny, just silly fun, you know? And I don't know. If it's fun and harmless and the chances of someone actually doing that is low. Sometimes I'll try to lean into it, you know, like for a bug like that, like what I could do is instead of it being a bug, I could just turn it into an actual thing. Like maybe I turn it into an actual animation where you grab the dude and fling him around and stuff, you know? Have I ever thought about making a boss rush game? I think at one point, but I don't know. Designing fun bosses is very difficult. Not for this game, definitely not for this game. But like a different game, like a fantasy game, yeah, I could see it being kind of fun. Generic question in the game dev legal body, do you need a license to name the weapons like their real name, AK-47, M4A1, etc., or it doesn't require any prior permission? It's a bit of a gray zone, but generally the rule of thumb for most developers is don't use the actual name of products, because sometimes the name of a product is the actual name of a company. Some weapons are under specific like open clause. If I remember correctly, active weapons in the military are allowed for use, I think. Don't quote me on that. Not legal advice. Some weapons you can use their actual names. Some weapons, generally, it's like, okay, best not to. Big no-no, don't use their logos. 100% don't use their logos. It's a bit of a gray zone, because weapons, generally, if the silhouette is the same, and if the silhouette of a gun is the same as its original design, I think I remember seeing this with the MP5. They use the silhouette almost like as a trademark, almost. So sometimes the silhouette is what's the trademark, not even the name of the gun. I think it's the MP5. I forget which one that they used in court at one point. Same thing with cars. I generally just try to if there's a gamified version of a gun name, I'll use that. And there are quite a few of those. But generally, I'll just avoid it and just give things its own name. Yeah. Lo-fi hip-hop to create a game to, or 10-hour Family Guy compilation to make Game of the Year to. Oh my god. I think lo-fi hip-hop is the one to go. Okay. What? Music not resetting in trains. Okay, so here's my thought process. Chapter complete screen. End chapter screen. I think what we'll do is we'll reset the music back to 0. And generally this is probably a good rule of thumb no matter what anyways. Because some levels are kind of dependent on the music having a specific flow. There it is. When we switch level, do we switch the player controller? Pretty sure we do, but let's just put this in here. Quoting you on that, see you in court. You can't do that. I said this is not legal advice. I pulled the this is not legal advice card. You can't just do that. Okay, so actually we want to set this to 0. I was about to do a little oopsie there. So I guess there's only one way to find out if this will work. We play through the trains level with music. Good time to do a little bit of play testing anyways. Okay, it's a little loud. Let me lower that. I gotta fix the enemies walking to a gunshot rather than prioritizing the actual gunshot location itself. It is one behavioral thing that I just dislike. Something I noticed though. I saw the enemy through that vent, and that's still occurring. So there's one thing that's kind of annoying. Hold on. Give me a second. Sometimes causes issues on a certain arena map too when you're above them on the second floor. Yeah. So the problem is they use, here's what I'm guessing. They use they use a spherical range when determining where to go rather than doing things in a better way. I might want to improve something with the grab. The grab does take a second to do, and I think we can improve the input for that. What was I saying? I'd go to them anyways. If there's something I noticed if you linger up there. You're right. But ideally, the idea would be... make it so that you don't have to do that, right? You know, instead the game should be... the game should be able to work itself out rather than having for you to massage it, you know? So I think ideally it'd be good to have that fixed. Another bug I noticed is that some levels from the underground ops would keep me from getting an S rank in kills because the end screen would have 101 out of 102. I don't know if there's just an enemy. It's really hard to find or if it's counting something weird, but I'm able to get an S rank for that. I have an idea for a feature that I'll probably put in at some point that I'd like to do is, well, for one, I think it'd be a good idea to make it so if you're getting close to the end of a level, all of the enemies would get aggroed to you, or the end of an area, I think would be good. But also having some sort of indicator of where enemies are. Like the idea would be The idea I had was like after you complete the level once, after that you unlock like a special kind of like indicator or something to let you know remaining enemies or something like that. I think that would be kind of neat. Some kind of like tracker almost. I think would be a neat idea and possibly an improvement for people that like to do speed running and stuff. I just don't know how I'm going to go about doing that. But I think that would be... Are enemies still spawning on that ramp? Wow. Well, good thing I have to retry anyways. I don't know how they keep spawning on that ramp when I actually made an entire system to stop them from spawning on that ramp.
The doors are now closing. The next train will arrive in 1 minute.
Like a stat for that level window to pop up if you press and hold a button. Kind of. Maybe something on screen, like a little GPS or something. I don't know how I would go about doing it. Just something to help. Did I miss one up top? The thing is, I don't think he can end up here. I swear I fixed that, but... Might have just been a rare spawn? I don't know. Let's see where it occurred. I think I was probably like right here. Or maybe I was on the other side. Ah! Yeah, the grab is fun because you can kind of abuse it. All of the mechanics can technically be abused in some way. But I think it's fun. It makes it goofy. Okay, so the replay button should make it so the music resets. Let's see if that actually happens. Something is going on in that Fmod event that causes that track to just completely reset. I don't really know what is causing that. So let's see if I can... Maybe I can force it to play the track that it currently has. I don't know if... the music artist put in a system that causes it to freeze. Annoyingly though, now I have to go back to that level, which I guess. All right. It's probably this level because we have like it's like a different music system that has parameters and whatnot. So I'm guessing that's probably what happened. I'm guessing this is the level that person is submitting a bug report about. I don't know any other levels that could potentially cause this.
The doors are now closing. The next train will arrive in 1 minute.
Oh. I gotta add some sound effects to the train as well. Did it just disappear? It didn't even go off in the distance. Don't kill innocent people? We're not killing innocent people. This is, these are bad guys, and also... We're using paint. It's paintball. My experience is that the music doesn't restart when replaying after death rather than the level completion. It's not meant to like fully restart. But I guess like, yeah, it's technically not meant to fully restart. Ideally, we just don't want the music to end entirely. That's the problem right now with this level. Is it goes silent because like that's how we kind of did this whole thing. And then when we replay, it's supposed to restart it. So let's see if that... Okay, well that fixed it for this level. Let me make sure I didn't break it for any other level. I don't want it like double playing. That would be bad. Okay. Cool. Music not resetting in trains. Music now resets when hitting replay button. Music now resets when hitting replay button after ending a mission. Okay, cool. So, fix this. Music now resets. Because, I think the difference between hitting the replay button when you end the mission versus hitting the restart mission when you die is that restart mission, you might hit that at any point in time. I feel like I don't want to... It depends. It depends on the level, because we are going to do a little bit more like go from point A to point B and the music changes. We have a whole new music track for the first mission that's a little bit more cinematic. So I just have to put it in. I just have to pull the changes and then put in the system for it. Yeah. Having the character hold the secondary gun in his offhand instead of up his bun is such a great detail. Reminds me of Max Payne 3. I think it just looks really cool. I don't even remember if it was just Max Payne that I saw that. I think John Wick does it as well. And I swear I feel like I've seen it in a John Woo movie at one point. Yeah. I want to go home and work on my game every time I watch your stream instead of the one at work. I feel that, man. I feel that. I think if anything, I have now been placed in a very lucky, privileged situation where I can do, you know, I can just work on my own stuff. At least for now, you know, until the money dries up. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point. Let's hope I actually release another game after this. Let's keep it going, you know. How do you feel about a multiplayer Nemesis system? Multiplayer or Max Payne? MP is becoming a it's a multiverse term. MP, multiplayer, Max Payne. All this game dev has got me hungry to continue on my game Rock, Paper, Scissors, soon to be released in early access with a multiplayer on the 2-year roadmap. Yo, hey, crazy idea. Rock, Paper, Scissors, but Balatro. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Huh? Rock, Paper, Scissors roguelite? Hey. That could go pretty hard. Indie game devs, when they see like an existing stupid game idea and they turn it into a roguelite. Write that down. Write that down. Hey, write that down. I want 10%. A multiplayer Nemesis system. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Would a leaderboard be hard to implement? I've thought about it, Reamer. It was an idea. I'm not promising it. If I get around to that feature, that'd be it'd be just me wanting to randomly put it in. But I think it would be friends only, just because I feel like that. For one, that makes it more personal, so you can compete against friends. Two, it's a lot less chance of hackers fucking up the whole leaderboard and shit, you know. And I'm not going to be around policing the leaderboard. Hey, Boha. Hope you have a great day. Hey, likewise. Don't blame me for that. Didn't think of that aspect. No, it's all good. Actually, I started watching Squid Game Season 2 and that version of Rock, Paper, Scissors fucked me up. I honestly don't remember because I skipped through like Season 2 and I don't know. I just... What'd they do? What'd they do different? You use both hands, then you pull one back kind of thing? Yo! Dude, okay, more ideas for the Rock, Paper, Scissors roguelite. You have different enemies, and a boss has like 6 hands, and they use 6 hands. Good idea, Dustin. Hey, hell yeah. And then you can get more hands that do more things. And then you get hands that can form different shapes. So it's not even just rock, paper, scissors. It becomes rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And then you have a gun for a hand. And then you got... And then what else can you form with your hands? I don't know. Metal! Metal could become a fucking action. Yeah, dude. Dude. Get on... Someone... Hey, write that down. I'm not working on that. You work on that. I don't fucking care. I don't care for it. Starts doing origami. Starts doing fucking hand like signals and stuff. Like, bunny! You know, or whatever. Becomes Naruto. Turn into a wooden log. Oh, man. All right, I wanted to check something. Let's go to the dev level. There are moments where grabbing immediately after an action, it's hard to do. So we might want to put the grab into the input buffer. So if I punch and then hold grab, I have to click the grab button again. I hate when a game doesn't input buffer your actions, especially if it's a button that you hold and then it doesn't do it. Not cool. So, let's add grabbing to the input buffer. More fluidly. Is that a word? More fluidly. It's kind of part of the design yoked, having the primary weapon being your, like... It's like your secret sauce, you know? That being said... so the secondary weapons... So, I think I pointed it out... I don't remember which patch notes we pointed it out in. And, you know... I'm as lost as the next guy in terms of what I plan on putting in. I think it's not that one. I think it's this one. It's not that one. I think it's this one. It's not that one. I think it's this one. Aha! Wait, no, that's not it. I think it's this one. Yeah, here it is. A mode called Enhanced Hitboxes. And there'll be 2 different settings. One for secondary weapons. Basically, the distance of where you shoot from with a secondary weapon... will change its damage value, and where you hit an enemy will also change its damage value. That being said, you'll be able to modify that. This I'll probably keep it as default, and it'll mostly be for third person. This wouldn't really work in it wouldn't really work in top down, because top down you can't really aim at where an enemy gets hit and stuff, right? So The second setting, this will be default to turned off, I think, because the idea is that the primary weapon is like this powerful thing. That can also be applied to the primary weapon. So I think the primary weapon will still be more powerful, but if you like shoot someone in the leg, it might not kill them. Unless you're like really close up to them. But the idea, ideally, is that the primary weapon is like your holy, it's your holy weapon, you know, like Warhammer. Like someone fucking lit like 5 candles and, you know, put paper on it and shit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I don't really know too much about the Warhammer universe. So I do plan on putting in these 2 settings for the people that kind of want that. Yeah. I think I did most of the stuff in here. Control haptics, yes. Pause menu requiring multiple presses, still happening. Don't fucking know how. Gambler modifier, I think I fixed that. All enemies fixed. Input hotkey for toggle HUD fixed. This we have not done yet. This we haven't done yet. This we haven't done yet. Level improvements, did a little bit, but not yet. Grabbing, yep. More crosshair settings. Still got a couple, but we're working on that. And then modding supports, you know, we'll work on that at some point. How long does stuff stay in the input buffer before you forget it? So I actually, that's something I need to fix, y'all. We never forget what's in the input buffer, even though we should have a timer for it for whenever they like become forgotten, I guess, or released. Kind of like a coyote jumper for input actions, kind of. So I think games that do inputs really well have a behind the scenes, like a hidden input buffer. And generally a lot of melee games will do this, where it's like, if you punch and then punch immediately after, even though you're like currently in the middle of an animation, if you're like punching right at the end, you'll do a double punch. So if you look in the top left corner, do you see that blue that says input buffer? Here, I'll hide my HUD. If I punch and then kick immediately after, even though I'm still playing the animation, it will sometimes buffer it. So then that way I can like chain a lot of actions without having to wait for an action. We also do the same thing for, I think the reload has it. Yeah, reload has its own action. So basically, you don't have to spam buttons. I think it feels really bad when you have to spam a button just to do something. How much time until we can romance other NPCs? The Sims. Go home, woo-hoo them. Hey, The Sims. You've birthed a new suit. Gonna mix it up. I think the thing, I want to make it work with the grab. The grab does not have an input buffer. So I think I'd like to make, so this is me punching and then holding the G button. Like you have to time it perfectly, which most players won't be able to do. So it's like, I'm holding it here. I feel like it should do it, right? So also when I shoot and then try to grab, it doesn't do it. And I think that's because of how it's built. Yeah. Yeah, basically adding the grab. So you can see here input buffer, it was reload, blah, 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 blah. Grab. Where is the grab input key? Grab. Ken melee combo. Montage is playing. So we're going to change that up. And do this instead. This should make it so firing doesn't get in the way. This is not a smart way of doing this, but I don't know if there's a blueprint way of checking what kind of slot montage you're playing, which is really annoying. I think I can read the metadata of a montage playing, but whatever, fuck it. We just hack it. Whatever. If it works, it works, man. I don't care. If someone does a code review of my... If Coding Jesus, or whatever the fuck his name is, does a code review of my shit, guess what? Hey, don't care. Don't care. I'll make my code better as I figure it all out. I'll improve it. Listen, I'm not going to act like I'm a 20-year C++ dev. I'm just a guy. Okay, so now shooting and then grabbing immediately should work. Okay, so it doesn't get in the way, which is good. I don't remember if slots are exposed to blueprint, but in C++, they literally just go into the montage asset and iterate over its slots. Right. I would assume that's how it would work, yeah. Remember a while ago you were talking about dabbling more into C++. Have you gotten around to it? I think that'll be for the next game. The goal for me as a developer for the next game is to learn more C++. Obviously learn how to write cleaner code, optimize games more, blah, 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 blah. You know, all that kind of shit. Be better with game design from the get-go. That's all the goals there, of course. But I think C++ is going to be the big thing that I want to improve upon for sure. I haven't had too many opportunities to do C++ stuff with this project, so I think for the next one, I'll have more of a... I'll be doing a lot more C++ centric stuff. So it's like all the base classes for everything are going to be in C++. And then that makes it a lot easier for me to add functionality here, there, everywhere kind of thing. Okay, so that's better, but it can be even better. Right? You know what I mean? It can be even better. Is my God mode assistant just an editor widget blueprint? Yeah. I dove headfirst into C++ for your U5 a couple years ago. Everything you've done in your blueprint will easily... Oh yeah, it's definitely already transferred so far. It's just the way you... The syntax is the biggest thing for me, and the way you write it. And then... I think I've gotten a grasp of pointers. Pointers seem relatively straightforward, honestly. Honestly, they seem very straightforward. It's essentially just a reference to an object that's in the scene, I feel like. And also, I think it's a reference to an actual object type, I think. I was reading yesterday, I was looking over... Every once in a while, I'll keep glossing over Tom Lumen's C++ starter guide type thing. Just to make sure that I'm slowly like retaining information until I start doing it more. The one that well, I'm not confused by it. I think the ampersand one I understand is basically just a pass by reference. And also you can pass functions through a function, which is cool. You can technically do that in Blueprint, but it's it's basically like a delegate, essentially. Essentially delegate. I feel like that would be the equivalent of passing a function through a function. Passing a function through a function. I think that's basically what they were doing. What the fuck? This shit's so long. Okay, so if this is false, let's see. I want to take a look at punch real quick. So, if the input buffer is equal to none, if the montage position is more than 0.22, and we are not diving, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with those parameters. Input buffer shall be grab. Does the spacing of all those blocks actually matter, or is it just an organizing? Just an organizing thing. There's an organizing thing. I remember one time someone tried to tell me that the longer something is, the slower it executes. It's not true. So someone actually tried to argue with me one time about that, and I'm like, no, brothers, get out of here. and like, I looked at their code, and they did everything like this. Everything was like this, and I was like, bro, stop. Stop. Oh, what are you doing? You're shooting yourself in the foot, man. Better yet, I think they were just punching themselves in the gut. That's what they were really doing. Delegates are a very efficient way of moving data, so if you already got that, you'll be fine. Yeah. One thing I want to learn about is what is the performance impact of doing a binding an event dispatcher. There has to be some sort of performance impact for binding an event dispatcher. Right? What is the performance impact of binding event dispatchers? Where does all of that information get run? I always thought about that. I was like, does that, by binding an event dispatcher, I suppose, because you're binding an event dispatcher, you're keeping the object that you bound in memory, right? I don't know. I know it's fire and forget, but there's got to be a little something, right? There's got to be a little something. Binding is just a function call and storing a value in an array. It's basically nothing because the delegate is really a variable with a list of functions call. Interesting. So it's behind the scenes, it's storing a value in an array. And I assume it's also storing like a string value of like the K2 event or whatever the fuck it is, right? The K2 function or custom event. And that's probably all it's really doing. Comments make your code run slower? No, they're just pointers. I see. Does that mean if you bind an object with an event dispatcher, that is holding a pointer to it? So in the instance for memory optimization, right? We're getting real nerdy here. For memory optimization, you'd have to release the binding for that, right? Is Super Higher your game? Yeah, it is. I wonder if there's if you have a binding and it's technically a pointer. I wonder if that holds it into memory. And if that could cause some garbage collection issues. Well, not the validation check when binding. I mean, after an object gets deleted or destroyed, I wonder if the binding just removes itself or something like that. It's very common to unbind your delegates and clean up. Also, when the delegate variable is destructor is called, it will empty the list. Ah. So it kind of does it for you. Because I noticed our crosshairs are still multiplying somehow. Don't ask me how. I literally don't know how. But yeah, I don't know if I have to do that manually in 427. How? I don't know. Don't ask me. I just work here. See, look, in the top left corner, do you see that orange color? We could do obj gc. So even after forcing garbage collection, we still, for some reason, retain in memory reference to the crosshair. Epic also added handy functions like unbind all delegates for object. I don't think I have that in 427. Funny enough, I was looking for something like that. Like, you can unbind all events from a specific event, but then that means I have to unbind all of them. I don't know if I have, it's in C++. Gah! Oh! Of course it's in C++. See, this is what I mean, guys. We need to go to C++. Why did I close the character? I need that. All right, well, let's see. So, input buffer. I'm going to change the timing because this is quite often used with if montage position is more than 0.15. When I restart your game, am I resetting the game mode? No, not really. Okay, so now let's just find references of this. My input buffer system isn't the best. A little bit difficult to read because, well, because it's shit. Don't know how else to say it. Because it's just shit. It's like the first time I ever make something like this, so I think for the next game I'll come up with a better like structure for all of this stuff. Probably by doing a bit of research into it. Great, it's not grabbing. It's probably because it's checking if a montage is active. Wowee. We could get real crazy here. Also, I think every time we attempt a grab, we probably want to clear this and set it to none. Which I guess empty is none. I don't know if empty is none. It's not. I gotta set it to none, specifically. So the problem is, it's still reading this montage as active, which is really, really annoying. I think I have an event called like force grab or some. No, I do not. So you can narrow down which long-lived actor is holding the reference after the character is destroyed. I think if I unbind all those events, I think that might work. I don't know. I don't really know. I have to look. I have to see what's going on. I have to do some really extensive profiling. It's just I have to get around to doing that. And I probably should today, like later today or something. It's just the thing is I fear how big that file is going to be because I have to do it for like 45 minutes. 5 minutes is about 1 gigabyte plus, I think 1 gigabyte plus. So you can imagine what 45 minutes is what kind of file size it's gonna create. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. Yeah. Okay, grab input buffer. So for these specifically, we override where the grab is going to happen. Unfortunately, here it reads the montage, which is really annoying. What I could do, this probably won't work and would probably cause an issue, but let's just try it anyways. I know this would cause an issue. This would cause you to be able to grab during like a punch. Actually, oh, I think the capitalization is breaking it. Even, huh. Huh. Something else is occurring. Where is it occurring? You know, I wish I knew. It's probably, God, potato code. Oh, of course. Although I'm, well, we do it here. Was the input chain make picking up weapons on the ground fast / more responsive for like mid-roll, for example? This would be different. This is just a grab system, but I have noticed that for some reason when you're dodging, you can't like pick up weapons, which is very weird. So I might look into that. I might look into that. Let me put that thing back in here. And it's not the way to go, though. It's not the way to go. How are you doing it with punch? Melee punch. Or can melee combo. Shit. Yeah, not the best way of doing that. I think you need another ore. You need a lot of ores in here. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. Although yeah. That's the way. So what's kind of annoying is that I noticed this. You can grab into a grab. I think we should take that out. So not equal to grab, so that we're not doing like a grab into a grab, because I don't want to input buffer grab on top of grab. Still seems to be happening. Not good. No, we don't want to do that because that could cause problems. Don't want to do that. I don't know why. Don't really know why we're still able to branch grabs into each other. No, I literally. Well, it's working, but also in a weird way. I might think about building a team for my next game. I'll probably like contract a few people here and there for sure. Like I think an animator, having a couple animators would be great. Weird. I'm pushing the button. I think it's because this can melee combo breaks it. But the funny thing is we set it right there. So let's keep going through the input buffers. I think we use the input buffer somewhere else. We do this somewhere else. I don't know where else, but reset melee combo, can melee combo to false. Got a little bit of potato code up in here. It's not perfect. It's got its issues. I'm not very happy about that. Is my buffer a single string? Yeah, it's just a single string. I'm not buffering multiple actions, just one. Honestly, it should probably be a struct. Weird. So the grab doesn't happen all the time, even though I'm clearly grabbing it. Grab slash throw. Yeah, if you wanted, you could do an array, and that would be another way of doing input buffering. But I think in this case, I think a single string is fine for us. Here's the thing. I'm sure there's way better ways of doing input buffers, and I'm sure at one point I will learn how to make a better one. I'm sure my next version, instead of it being a string, it'll be a struct, probably with like a timer of like when, or a time slot when I try to press the button, so I can check if it's too long or old or something. Something like that. Let me debug this real quick. So now it's working. Oh, I didn't set him to respawn. Let's change that. Respawn. Hold on. So now it's working. Well, at least now it sort of works. Hold on, I want to try kick into a grab. Okay, it feels better than before at least. At least it means we can chain the grab into something. And now shooting with the recoil also doesn't... Yeah, I think that feels fine. It feels like an improvement. Just running what I think is that your breath is getting overwrote or cleared too quick. Oh no, I don't take it as talking shit at all. Don't worry, Kiro, you're good. What do you mean I'm a drag and drop dev? Why don't they fight back? The dummy, that specific one, I don't have him fighting back. I think you were forced. Did I fix the multi-crosshairs? Kind of. I still notice some of them are being held into memory, so... But we reduced them, that's for sure. I feel like the thing is, if we try to input buffer the grab... It shouldn't... What it should do is not depend on... It should check if you have the mapping down. I think that's what it should be. It should check if you have grab or... Yeah, I think that's what we want. That's the secret sauce. Check if you have grab or if you're holding down the button. If you're holding down the button... then we should allow the grab to go through. Which then means I probably... okay, I'm going to do something really counterproductive here. We're going to put that there, okay? I know it sounds kind of crazy, but... this way... no matter what, if you're holding the button, even if it's before the grab buffer, then it'll do it. I think that's a great idea. It technically means I don't need the input buffer, because it's like... But, let me try with toggle grapple. We gotta play around with this one now. We still gotta fix them stretching a little bit. They get a little stretchy. Don't know why. Oh, I'm out of stamina. He's stretching. He's getting a good stretch in. I think it works. Yeah. An array because you could add to the array and just take the first. It would help with debug to see how many actions are being added before you clear it. Right. That would be a good... I think a struct... or maybe even an entire system would be a good idea. Having a timer associated when you set... For one, I think something we should do is expire inputs that are like older than 1 second. At that point, like... it's too old and we shouldn't retain it in the buffer. I think that would be an improvement. To like, because we do have a couple bugs I think that occur that causes issues, and I think that's because the input buffer doesn't get cleared after a certain period of time. Ideally, you just buffer the input ID or the action itself. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think having it input the actual function itself rather than me having to like do all this fucking Boolean shit would be kind of interesting. I think that would clean up the code quite a bit. I think you technically can do that, funny enough. This means I can dive with an enemy more efficiently now. Let's see if I break anything. Come here. Oh, never mind. Oh, see you later. He's gone now. Forever. Is there a way to move a capsule trace with the player character when you draw it? Not really. You'd have to constantly do like traces. I don't think you can move yeah, you have to continue. Yeah, either you have to continuously draw it or you have to continuously do the trace. Because a trace is like a one-time thing. Didn't you start streaming on YouTube? I've been doing it for a little bit, yeah. I started multi-streaming, doing both platforms or whatever. You know something I'm noticing though? Is I'll do a roll and I'll hold spacebar to try to do a dive right after. God, that would be kind of cool, making it so it like buffers the dive. The controller support, there is, yeah. And in top down as well. There's two of them now. Also, I don't know why the grab is like instant. I don't know what happened. This is supposed to have a little bit of lag. I don't know what happened to our acceleration rate. Was adding controller support hard? I think in-game controller support is a lot easier. I think the challenge comes with UI. I think the UI makes it challenging. I don't think it's necessarily like, obviously it has its own fair share of challenges, but yeah. How can I turn this into a feature without their animation getting real freaky? Can you push enemies off ledges? Not off of railings. Not off of railings, unfortunately. You can push them off of like things like this, but not off of railings. That was like a wish list feature of mine. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it, unfortunately. Gotta get back to work. Hey, have a good day, man. Have a good day. Hope the day goes well. You watching streams at work, man? What the hell? Is this an Unreal 5? No, this is Unreal 6. The future. We can go with railings. So, let me search up like a fence. I would say a railing would be something like, actually, no, maybe it is railing. Yeah. Something like, I guess like this. Something like this. There's no way of throwing an enemy over a railing while they're still alive, unfortunately. That would have been like a wish list of mine, being able to like, after a period of time, if they're like beat up enough, you could like throw them over a railing and they'll like fall over it and stuff, you know? But that is currently not in the game. If it ever even gets in. I don't know if it ever will. This is UE4 though. UE4. Could have a timeline that loops every 0.2 seconds when it drops, updates draw a new capsule trace. Someone was saying you could set up something up to trace 15 spheres that follow the character's movement. Doing something over a period of time. Like, you could do a timer, and then you just keep an internal integer that keeps track of each time that you've done it, and then stop the timer once you've reached a certain period of time that you've done it. Or set up a timer and just clear the timer when the event is done, whatever you might be doing there. I don't think they want to draw spheres. I think they want to do sphere traces. This is why I tell you you should add a bikini unlockable. It would allow you to make a pacifist run so no one shoots a bikini babe. Whoa! Game's already cool as it is, right? I think doing all those really cool ragdoll things, I think would be like a really cool like sequel thing. Or I have an idea for my next game. I'll probably do some really cool like stuff like that at some point. I think that'd be sick. How many crosshairs are we duplicating today? Infinity and beyond. Firing recoil animation and crouching causes the crouch animation to be delayed. So let's see, can we fix that next? Is my next game planned to be related to Superhard, like a sequel? Not necessarily. It's basically an entirely different game. But I would love to like take some of the elements that I wasn't able to put in this game and put it in that one. And kind of still go down the path of like very action-oriented game, probably within my like cyberpunk roguelite game. I was kind of thinking something like that. These are really old screenshots, so like ignore these. But Yeah, I think that could be kind of neat. I think that could be kind of neat, is putting some more like active ragdoll elements, maybe some more gunfu. I would definitely love to continue doing that, but just make it better. I think that would be kind of neat. We'll see what I end up doing. But not really a sequel. It wouldn't really be a sequel. I think I'm done with trying to do like, well, besides the zombie survival game, but that's kind of like somewhat fantasy in some way because it's zombies. But I think I kind of want to step away from trying to do modern contemporary stuff because like you have to be super grounded and it's like you can't really go outside the bounds of reality. And I feel like doing something more cyberpunk or science fantasy or whatever is a little bit more creatively freeing, I guess. Trying to come up with ideas for this game has been really difficult especially with like the way it's designed. You die in one hit, so I have to be careful. And then on top of that, we're in like a modern world, so I can't like do any like crazy stuff. Like a guy with a jetpack or something, you know, I can't. Guy with a jetpack, you know. And on top of that, because the game is two perspectives, I have to stay within the limitations of one pose versus another. So, yeah. Anyways, what we doing? Next bug. So just remove the third person perspective. Yeah. Firing recoil animation, then crouching causes the crouching animation to be delayed. So I'm going to delete this guy. I don't need him. So for some reason, the crouch animation is delayed because of the firing animation. So I probably want to go here. Oh, I can't browse to the asset. Okay, I don't know why. Literally doesn't make any sense, Unreal. Disabling that button. It's not affecting the pie at all. Okay, hold on. Let me debug this real quick. The anim graph is freezing. Oh, because it goes into trick pose. Oh. 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 Can you trick pose while crouching? I don't think so, right? Although, that'd be cool. I think the problem is that I think I tried to make it so you could still do it while crouching. I think the problem was that it just didn't look good. I'm actually kind of confused. I don't know why. It's probably right here. When we set trick posing over here, it probably is not allowed. Oh, what? Nope. Yes. Ah, it checks that we're not crouching. Let's see what it looks like if we try to do it while crouching. I'm very curious what happens. Okay, so that we can fix. I think we can fix that. Let's see here. So first off, what the hell is going on? Crouching, crouch idle is crouching. Blend by bool. False. You got it working, Golden? Hey, hell yeah, man. Hell yes. Interesting. Interesting. There's legs direction in here, which is very interesting. I don't know why. That will be... Like, we have it there, so maybe this won't be too big of an issue. Okay, so idle should work now. But does the trick pose itself work? It's not bad, it's just, Gotta fix that part. That's the only thing we gotta fix. Don't know what's going on there. Oh, the translation. Oh, shit. What's funny is that we ignore it, so I don't understand why would it impact it. Let me... Why is it happening? Why is it... why is that? What is... Why? What? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Why is that happening? Any ideas? Let's see here. Is this animation fucked? The root bone's down there. Pelvis. Roots. Pelvis. Why are we floating? Why are we floating? Why are we floating? Why are we floating? I literally don't know why we're floating. We must be like setting our character. Show bones. Nope, something else is going on. Our pelvis. Arrgh. You see that? Our pelvis was moving up. It wasn't our root, it's our pelvis. Which might be... this. Tis indeed. Okay, so we're actually going to do this instead then. We're going to create two different blend profiles for this then. So this one's going to be rifle idle. This is going to be for the crouch pose. True, false, and then this would be the way to do it. Okay, no problem. So this pelvis is 4. If I set it to 0, what happens? Okay. Let's, I guess let's not. I think that looks sick. I'm glad that we can get this going with crouching. It's just not perfect by any means. It's kind of fucky sometimes. Our crouching, however, is still delayed when going from trick pose to crouch. So that our core problem is still there. Also, I think while moving, this doesn't work. So let's fix that as well before I continue. Yep. Yep. Let's fix that up before I cause a big, humongous oopsie. Also, I think the turn in place will need its own thing as well. So I chose hyper-violent anime-esque battles. I think it's just more fun going outside of the bounds of reality. Now, that being said, there is an interesting challenge to keeping your game or your creation within the bounds of reality, right? I think there is still something interesting there. There's an interesting challenge. It's just for me, man, I want to do something different. I just want to do something different as well. What up, Diego? What are we doing here? Fixing some animation stuff, fixing some other stuff. There's a lot of fixing things. Yeah. A lot of fixing stuff. Okay, let's see how bad this looks. I did notice some different profiling earlier. I saw a different profile for a blend, so I'm curious to see what it looks like when we're moving. Let's see. That being said, I really don't fucking like the crouch animation in general, so this might just need... We might just need to work on this in general, because I just don't like it. Splitting bugs? Yeah. Taking a bug, fixing one, creating 2 more. You know how it goes, guys. Yeah, I think we can make the crouch just look a lot nicer. It's not the nicest thing in the world, admittedly. Like, look at this guy. Look at him. What's wrong with him? I think one thing we can do is copy this blend and then reuse it. And I want to see how different it is, just so we keep a little bit of consistency. Okay, better, but of course, I think the animation still, we need to come up with a better animation, but alas, for now, it'll do until we actually, like, come up with a better animation for that. Not my favorite animation in the world. Call it leaning. It's to work out his glutes. The glutes. Yes. The glutes. Okay, that's fixed. However, turning in place, I think, is broken. Actually, I think the turning in place is non-existent. So we could probably just delete this. Or maybe delete the transitions. There we go. Now I don't have to deal with that damn error or warning that pops up every time. So that means crouching can now do the cool little trick pose. That's what I call it, trick pose. I don't know what else to call it. And is crouching, yeah, crouching works now. So we fixed that bug, improved the animations, all good. I don't know, Dustin. I'd like to after September. I think would be the minimum, or I guess maximum duration of working on this is after September. I'd at least want to get started working on the next thing, whatever the next thing might be. Ideally, I think Ronin would be a cool next thing to work on. My only concern with Ronin is how long is that fucker gonna take? But first off, 5 push-ups. Man, you motherfucker. Does crouching mess up AI hits, or is that just based on capsule? Crouching doesn't. You can dodge an attack if you're lucky. you can dodge an attack. Do you want another 5? Yeah, well, you're gonna have to wait a bit because I'm pretty sure there's a cooldown. So. It doesn't mess them up, technically, but you can get lucky and dodge an attack. It does change their detectability, though, like how quickly they'll detect you. So there is some system there. Didn't you want to put up those anti-noise things? There used to be someone that was in here, and they put those really sticky LED strips on the walls that I've been delaying removing. Yesterday, for about 2 hours, I had a blow dryer, very slowly trying to remove them. And I did peel off some of the fucking paint. I had to do that first. Today I got to do more of that. I bought a well, for one, I bought a step stool, or a stool, not step stool, like a step ladder. Then I also bought a, what's that thing called? Like a, I forgot what it's called. I already forgot what it's called. It's like a metal thing that you can use for paint and drywall and shit. You guys know what I'm talking about? Any painters in chat? A putty knife. A putty knife. I bought a putty knife, so hopefully that I can remove that sticky residue from the wall. And hopefully I don't fuck up the wall anymore. So yeah. But the step ladder comes tomorrow, so I gotta wait until tomorrow probably. I do not want to fuck up my body. Yesterday was awful. Does eating paint count as a painter? Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, no, but yeah, maybe. Some of the stuff got here though. My body's getting really. I need to start working out. My body is like withering away. Luckily though, just having literally just having them here in the back here has already helped. I can already tell like it helped with the echo, so I'm glad that's already helped. I don't have a carpet. I have fake wood flooring. Or whatever you call that. Something wood. Kind of, it's just like, it's like a type of wood, but it's not real wood. Not really. I do have a carpet. I instead of me using those plastic things that fucking slides all over the place, I have a carpet underneath my chair, but it's a very thin carpet. I might get a larger one. Maybe that help a little bit as well. Cardboard wood? Yeah, might as well call it cardboard wood. Might as well. This shit's fucking horrible. And then if you gotta repair it, which I have to repair a little spot, it is apparently an awful workflow to remove it and replace. So great. Can't wait to have to deal with that at some point or another. Fun times. Fun times, man. All right, so we got a couple more bugs in here. And a system type thing and various other things. What I'm gonna do first is take a tiny break. Because I haven't stood up, except for doing those 5 push-ups. So I'll be back. I'm gonna take a little little break, get myself some water, take care of my body a little bit, you know, something I don't do very often. I hope you understand. But I'll be right back. Take a little short break. Yeah. Oh man. I'll do these push-ups and then I leave. How rude. Hey. I'm back. All right. What's next on the chopping block? Secret challenges not completing properly. God, I don't know why that's happening. Secret challenges not completing properly. So my thought process is let's see if I already have something built in for this. We have a system that will preemptively look through every single level and figure out if it needs to repair or fix the score rating it has, because we had a bug for that. What I want to see is when we're looping through the level, can we maybe check if we need to repair, recalculate secret challenges. Oh wait, we have a whole thing for the secrets. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait, we have a system for this. Wait, there is literally a system for this. Why is it not working? What? Wait, what? Um, why is this not working then? Wait, what's one of the challenges in Overflow? Hold on, let's see. I think one of the challenges in Overflow is find all secrets, but let me just double check. Oh, that's not it. It's Roma Overflow, find all the secrets. I have no idea. Why it's not working. Let's see here. Let's go to the very beginning. Chapter's completed. Challenges, go through everything, every single one of the challenges. Let's see here, core, let's go to the chapter table. Let's go to Overflow. Secret. It goes through all of them. Checks if it's secret. And also checks if Why isn't this working? Man, I don't know. Hmm. Man, I don't know. That because technically the system should work. I don't know when I added this in. This like bug fix. Oh, we can find out. Hold on. Uh, Dude, I literally don't know. Secret challenge is not completing properly. We literally have an entire system here that should be completing it, so I don't know why. Let's see. Did I mess up anywhere in here? Add unique. Maybe. Maybe, is this a pass-through reference? I wonder if that's the problem. I wonder if that's the problem. Get a reference. We're going to set this to a local variable chapter index. Let's see if this fixes it. If I instead do a reference, and then, oh, what is this doing? And I instead add unique like this. I don't know if a for each loop gives me a reference or a copy. Oh, it's a copy. Oh, you fuck. Okay, so this should work. Fixed? Question mark? Secret challenge is not completing properly. Made adjustments to code that should make this work better. Okay, that should be the fix to this problem, I think. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. But I think by getting a reference instead, I hope adding to an array works. Let me do all this stuff. We check the achievements, sweep for unlocks, and I believe somewhere in here, we additionally, somewhere in here we save. Or we're supposed to. Yes, we save to the slot right here in the sweep for unlocks. So, that should fix it. I don't see any other... The only issue I could see happening is this add unique not functioning properly. Like adding an array to this doesn't function properly. That, I think, is the only spot where I could see an issue occurring. So let's see if that works. I don't know. I feel like that should be fine. Okay. Cool. We fixing shit. Hopefully. I think. Bug, reloading game while holding a body shield causes the state to continue. We get stuck, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's a problem with... Let's go into a level. What workflow tool do I have? It's called Notion, N-O-T-I-O-N. Honestly, it works for me. I wouldn't mind trying out, like, I don't know, maybe Obsidian for the next project. But honestly, Notion has been pretty good for doing stuff. But yeah. Been able to work. It might not, I don't remember if it's tracking via memory address or not. You could just iterate over the array and then add it. You don't find it in the array sort of thing. Yeah, that's my only concern with that code change. That's my only concern, is the potential chance that this doesn't actually add to it. System sucks. System sucks. Shit sucks, man. Whatever. We'll see if it works. I think by doing this, it's already a start. By using a reference rather than a copy. That should be at least a start. Because how else would you add to an array within a struct? I guess you could do set by reference or set member in struct, and you could just set challenges completed. Grab the challenge completed, add unique, and then, or add, and then this doesn't even output an actual fucking thing. So it's like I'd have to set an array, add the unique, and then give this. That would be my second fix if this doesn't work. Is I have to like really be manual about setting it. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know how else I'm actually doing it. I should check how I'm actually doing the challenge completion. Maybe that would be a good thing to check. Is there a bright side? Okay, so what we were checking. I just want to reproduce it just to be sure that we have a good starting point. So when I grab an enemy, and then I pause and reset, Reloading game while holding a body shield causes the state to continue and get stuck. Oh, it's when we restart. For some reason, resetting works just fine. It's just the problem with the unique part where you're inputting a copy, so it would always be unique if it's memory address tracked. Otherwise, if it's by the actual values, then it would work. Okay. Yeah, the unique part is a gameplay tag, if I remember correctly. So I'd be surprised. Okay, so hold on. So reset works, but the other one does not. What is the difference? What are we doing differently? What are we doing differently? Or has some stuff to do in equality check. Okay, yeah, we should be good then. It should be working better. I think it was the copy that was the issue, being fed from the array. I feel like that was the problem. So what's the difference here? Oh, you know what might be the difference here? I think we delete the character and then respawn them. Wait, no. Respawn player character. Where's our release event? And which one do we play? I think it's this one. Well, let's try it out. Let's give it a try. That being said, I don't think that's the problem because we're using restart mission, so I actually have to look at the right one. Yep, that's... I'm in the wrong place. But let me see if I broke anything by doing that. No. I didn't. So it's just restart missions broken? What do you do differently, friend? What do you do here? We destroy the player character. Interesting. Past me, you're an interesting lad. Past me. Okay, I think what the problem is the widget is persisting, which then raises the question. Where's grab? Attempt grab. Attempt grab in here has a widget that we spawn, and that widget needs to be deleted. Could be started body shield. I could see that being... Aha, grip strength UI. Apparently that stays on screen. For some interesting reason. Grip strength UI, grip strength UI, grip strength UI. You know what? Let's do event end play. Event end play, the right one, please. Oh, well, apparently we already have one. Let's do sequence, grip strength. So I think it's just the UI that's staying on screen. I don't think anything else is staying on screen when we use that. About normal to me. Yeah, it was just the UI. Reloading of a holding operation causes the UI to stay on screen. Okay. Then, I want to see something. When we hit, when is it that the crosshair duplicates? Is it when we hit reset the checkpoint? Yes. Is it when we die? Let's check. Stayed as, seems like it stayed as 3. What if I hit restart mission? So the only time we are duplicating the crosshair for some reason is when we hit retry from checkpoint. Let's see what's going on. What the hell's going on? What the hell? What are you doing? What are you doing? Is dead. Should save. Current chapter. Go here. Okay. Then we switch level. Which is not really doing all that much. Blah, blah, blah. Despawn. Player controller. Input modes. Event close pause menu. With, by the way, I don't know why it's still not working. End loading. Cast a player character is dead. Hide HUD. God, there's nothing in here that screams out to me, hey, we're duplicating the crosshair. Nothing in here screams to me, hey, we are duplicating the crosshair for some random unknown reason. Can I check? I got a question. Actually, you know what? I do have a question. For an interface like this, who owns it? Is it the game instance that owns it? Or is it the player character that owns it? Now I'm confused. Who the fuck owns this widget? Who owns this thing, dude? Do you have do you know if there's a debug thing in UE4? I don't know if you're still here. Is there a debug thing in UE4 that allows you to see every single widget that's currently in a scene? Because I don't know if there's like a developer tool for it. I know there's the widget reflector, but I don't think that's what I want. I don't know if there's anything in here. What by the way, what is collision analyzer? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how many of these widgets stay in memory if they're a widget component. Let's see. Do you have any random functions that I should know about? Thing's fucked. Create drag and drop operation. Dude, I'm a drag and drop dev. I should know how to do this. Sets the local player that owns this widget component. So anything owning player controls which player's viewport the widget appears on a split screen scenario. Ah, okay. Well, that doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. Is that a special breed of devs, the drag and drops? No, not drag in as in like a fantasy dragon, a drag and drop. Drag and drop? drag and drop. Let me enunciate my words a bit more. Can I set the tick mode of this? Tick mode. If I turn off... No, that doesn't matter. Well, maybe it does. But here, it's no longer valid. So, like, it shouldn't be ticking anymore. Does any object in the game call a reference to the crosshair? The player controller. Nah, I don't think it's just a singular. Nah, it should be fine. Right? Hold on. Functions override. On unpossess. Alright, it's time for old faithful print string. Oh shit! The infamous oh shit. Continue. Reset. Oh shit! Oh shit. Does that mean we're still retaining a memory reference to our player character, our old one? Hold on, restart mission? Oh shit, twice, actually, as a matter of fact. Oh, this is gonna get real gnarly. Surely none of this will break, right, guys? Surely none of it will break. Surely none of it will break. Yep, something broke. It would appear something indeed has broken. The thing is, we are overwriting the value of the thing. So hold on. Remove from parent crosshair. Wait, hold on. Wait, he might be cooking. I might be cooking. Wait, hold on. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally like remove a crosshair I'm not supposed to remove. 2, 3. Garbage collection. 2, 3. 3. 2. 3. 4. But run garbage collection. 4. Okay, something's not right. Stat. Widget. Take a snapshot. Hold on. I'm looking for crosshair. Hidden, visible. Player monologue. Agrometer. Wait, where's the crosshair? Widget blueprint crosshair, C15. So far, I only see one crosshair. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I might be a bit crazy, but I only see one crosshair. Let's see if I can find any other crosshairs. Okay, so I think the reference to the crosshair is not here. It's not here with us. I don't know where the fuck it is. We only have one crosshair. Let's see if I can... Crosshair. I only see one of them. So it's not on the screen, but for some reason our game can detect that there are more than one crosshair. I'm so confused. I am of extreme confusion. Pause menu, reset to checkpoint. So this is the culprit. Delete secondary weapon, reset session values, overwrite save values, switch level, then does a bunch of bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. I love how we set the player controller twice. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason. I don't know why. It's just, I'm sure there's a reason. Past me knew what he was doing. Past me surely knew what he was doing. What does refresh HUD do? Bunch of shit. Can I don't know if this would do anything. No, that's not a good idea. I was thinking like I go through every single instance of the crosshair that we for some reason have in here and we delete it. Something is holding a reference to this widget blueprint though. Maybe it's this get all widgets of class. I don't know. Maybe this thing is actually kind of hurting us is because it just constantly keeps trying to like keep it in memory or something. I don't know. Here, let's do some. Hey. We'll clear it after the end of it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just in case. You never know. Hey. There you go. Not that it's going to do anything, but you know, whatever. Nah, it doesn't do shit. Something else is holding a reference to widget blueprint crosshair. I don't know what. Crosshair. Okay. Can I clear all the events? Oh man, clear. Damn it. I'm gonna have to clear each one manually. Oh, this is fucking horrendous. It could be this. It could be the fact that we're doing all these delegate bindings and then that causes the problem. Maybe we, maybe we do this. Here's an idea. We only play the animation if the crosshair is visible. Thoughts? I'm sure there's a code for this. Widget visible. That seems like a pretty good optimization for me. Ideally what I'd like to see is if this counts towards widget components. Okay. Oh wait, empty ammo. Visible, okay. Let's see if that works. That would be a duct tape way of fixing the problem. Okay, so ideally we want to see that this is saying nope at least once, because that would mean it would work. Perfect. In here I think it's fine because we don't show... Hold on. Okay, something's not good. We have 4 crosshairs on screen, but we're not seeing a nope. Hold on. If I set the alpha value for the crosshair down... No, I feel like we would have seen the difference by now. You know, Mayor, what version of Unreal am I using? This is 427. 427. Dude, we got like zombie crosshairs. Can I like dump objects? I know you can dump tick, but can you dump objects? Is that a thing? Can you dump objects? Dump copy properties for unrelated objects. Dump the objects that are cross-class copied. I don't get it. What does that mean? This is apparently a 0 to 1 value. I don't even know what that means. People are desperate for you to make a PS5 port so the PS5 can finally play one game. I'd love to, man. It's just Sony's a bit more, is a bit harder to get a game published on their platform. Maybe that's why it's like nobody has any games to play, is because it's too complicated to put a game on their platform. Yeah, I'd love to. I would love to. It's just, it's a bit more involved to release with Sony. You almost have to hire that out, right? Yeah, it's a whole job. It's a whole thing. I'm okay with learning it myself. It's just the process. The onboarding process alone with Sony is a whole thing. It's like a whole thing. You need a corporation. That's a big one on its own. You need to be incorporated for that. And various other things. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I know that the incorporation part is public already, but I don't know about the other elements. I know most indies just get a publisher to deal with that shit. Yeah. Yeah. I have trust issues. Although I'm down to find a publisher to do it, but... I know someone got their game denied because the font was slightly wrong for the buttons. What? I remember some consoles, to do the submission process, it costs money, if I remember correctly. So to go through the long QA process to get released on a game, I think some of them cost money. to put your game through the QA process. And I would imagine getting denied and then having to resubmit probably costs you a little bit of money. I don't know if it does for Sony. I have no idea. I have no idea. Don't know about Sony. No clue. That could have been Switch, maybe? Maybe that was a Switch? Not sure. It's kind of ridiculous. There's a lot of fake AI bullshit on their store. That's funny. And they're not even real games, so I don't know how they got through. Huh. Well, I want to check something. Does this get called multiple times? Because if it does, then that means we're in Fucktown. Okay, in third person it'll call it twice because it's calling the crosshair on the mouse for top down and third person. My concern is if it shows 3 times. Okay. I'm curious, if I remove that boolean that we just added in, do I see that more than 2 times? And then I reset. Then we have 3. So it's not calling it multiple times, but something is definitely not right. Something ain't right. I don't know. I guess it costs money if you fail qualification for the first times. You have to pay to reapply. Huh. You can only test your build by sending it via a VPN to Sony HQ first. Yeah, there's a whole thing. You have to have like a static IP and everything. It's a whole thing. Like, I'm already in the process for Xbox. It's just I would like to see if I should also, if I can get PlayStation going as well. So I've already gotten through some of the process for Xbox, but ideally it would be nice to also have, you know, both platforms at the same time, released at the same time, you know? So, yeah. I'll see. I'd be surprised if people would want to buy this game on PlayStation. Or just consoles in general. Because it's like just a, you know, indie game. Like, I don't know what the market is like for indie games on console. I have no clue. I think I would just look at it as, if I do the console release, it's because I just want to learn it. I just want to learn what it's like releasing on console. I think that's the main thing. Not because I want to make more money or something like that, just because I want to learn what it's like for future games. Okay, what else do we got on the list? System to make the player face the specified orientation on spawn. Shit. Okay. We'd probably want to put this in the player start. My only problem is, I think we just have to create another variable for this. Bro's fighting so hard just so the PS5 can have a game. There's been a lot of people asking me to put it on PS5. Yeah, this like we could use desired rotation, but it won't be like 100% correct. It'll be better, but not like correct. Yeah, Sony would be quite a bit of work. It's just consoles in general, I think, are going to be quite a bit of work. I've never ported a game to console. I think all of our UI, we'd have to fucking change all of it. Yeah. We'd have to probably change how we do UI navigation with controller. I think it would probably break on console. That would be that'd be a nightmare. That would be a nightmare. Actual nightmare, like nightmare fuel. I think I would genuinely shit myself. Yeah. Yeah. Is us holding a reference to the player character in our thing here, does that cause the player character to stay in memory? Is that seems concerning. That no. Well, maybe. Oh. Okay. Well, first off, the player character won't be garbage collected? Even if this object the despawns and then respawns again? Hey, I've been thinking about this. Okay. All right. Idea. Is this a stupid idea? Instead of doing a cast to the player character, we instead do an interface that sends an interface to the player character, and then that player character spits out the reference for the actual player character. Can you do that? Is that illegal? Can we do that? Can you do that? That would work, right? I feel like that would work. Using an interface for one single class doesn't make sense. Well, like, I have a thing in the player character. Somewhere, I think. But the idea is, instead of me having to set a reference to the player character and constantly having to cast, instead I'm sending an interface, and then that I guess that's basically the same thing as casting, though. That is essentially the same thing as casting. This is a slight, this right here is slightly alarming, but I think because this object gets deleted constantly, I don't think this is a huge concern. I think. Anyways, let's get to the problem that we're thinking here. So, desired control rotation. Used for third person camera. So this would be a float. We would set it to inherited. We're going to put it under camera. Desired third person controller rotation. Let's do third person control rotation. Okay. So. Actually, is that using the controller? Set control rotation. Yeah. Oh, it is using the controller. I don't. Okay. Well. I don't know if this will break things for top down, so we're gonna find out. Like, I don't know if we use control rotation for top down. Reset. Looks okay. I'm confused, man. Why is the rotation rate so fast? I swear I used to have like a rotation rate. I could change the rotation rate, I'm pretty sure. Weird. Hey, peace out, Ruby. Thanks for dropping by. Explicitly destroying an actor, all references should be nullified with the actor's garbage collected. Ideally, right? I would assume that's like how it would work. I don't know why we have this issue where some of the slate objects are being kept in reference or something is happening, but okay, so the real test, one of the big levels I noticed this was an issue in is Ocean Drive. So when you load into Ocean Drive, you're facing the complete opposite direction. Not fun, can be confusing for third person. So let's see if this works by going to that level and setting that value to 180. Steam updated the video player, so now it works. Do you have to update the client? Oh shit, they did update it. And it goes to 1080p. Oh shit. Steam actually updating. And Steam is pretty good about updating things, admittedly. They're like really good about it, I feel like. That's huge. That's humongous. Some might say it's actually ginormous. The new UI they're working on looks good. I saw slight mentions of that. I haven't like actually looked at it though. Yes! Now we just gotta find all the levels where the rotation is really off. So who input this bug report? Or where was this? Is this talked in? Mad suit is a big one. I know that's definitely problematic. Let's fix that one real quick. So that needs to be 180. This one, I assume, also needs to be 180. I actually don't know if it is. I'm going to assume it's 180. This one probably also needs to be 180. This one also is 180. Don't tell me they're all 180. This one is... I actually don't know what the fuck this one is. Shoot house training missions. Man, I really need a indicator to show which direction this control rotation goes in. Can we put another arrow in here? This will be the third person arrow. Okay, third person arrow, construction script. Third person arrow, set world rotation. Actually, is the control rotation in world space? I'm going to assume yes. I really hope it is. I really, really hope it is. That doesn't seem right. Hold on. Maybe it's not 180. Maybe it's... Although I'm pretty sure it is 180. Oh, this one's 180. Okay. The other level is not 180. It's a different value. Okay, hold on. Let's fix that shit. Hold on. It's 90, I think. Good thing I added that arrow. 90. Let's just test it really quickly, just so I'm actually doing the right thing. Mad suit. All right. Okay. Let me go back to that level though, because I made some edits to the other level, the other things, and I think I set the wrong numbers. So, so let's go ahead and double check that those are the right numbers. Okay, so that one is facing the complete wrong way. You can do like 45 degrees for this one. This one, 90. This one we already fixed. This one wrong, 90. And this one is 0. What was another level? The Caribbean Alpha Beta Charlie levels. This one's fine. Let's check beta real quick. That one is also fine. Maybe the control rotation wasn't being reset when you respawned. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe the control rotation wasn't being reset. Yeah. What keyboard do I use? This is a Crosshair K70 with brown switches. Honestly, brown switches are like a nice between like tactile, but also like not being so loud that your neighbor wants to kill you. You know, it's like a nice in between. You know what I mean? It's a nice in between. Are there any other levels where the player character is spawned in a really stupid direction? Like really back, you know, ass backwards direction. Glorious GMMK with panda switches. Panda switches. I didn't even know they named switches like that. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. Even this one is in the right direction. Interesting. Let's see here. So then let's check Miami. Sent to Paradise. Which direction are we facing? This is going to take a bit for it to load. That one's fine. Seems like most levels are fine, and I just had those few levels where I was like, I did things in a very awkward way. Cathedral, fine. Art exhibit. That being said, I do have to check checkpoints, but I'm gonna start with. Let me start noting these down. Art exhibit. Ocean Drive, I think, is fine now. Let's just double check, make sure that it's actually working. Very cool. Very cool. Eviction. Let's check out eviction. Yeah, I'm okay with it facing that way. That's okay. Back alley, I don't think matters. Chop shop. Let's check out chop shop. Okay, that's fine. Now let's check the Caribbean series. Same day shipping. Which direction are we facing? Let's change that one. Oxtail. Which direction are we facing for oxtail? I think oxtail we can also change. Alpha, Beta, Charlie, we check those. Let's see, overflow. I think overflow I think this one's fine. I'm pretty sure it spawns forward. Yeah, facing forward. Let's check tiramisu. I could go for a tiramisu, man. Should probably extend this. You know, yeah, maybe, you know, maybe. I don't know, might be a good idea. That's a hard level. Okay, how about Sahara oil prints? We are facing the complete opposite direction oil prints. So let's fix that one. How about falafel? This one's good. How about Rush B? To be honest, Rush B we could probably change as well. To face to the left. And then kanji. Let's see what we got going on over here. Looking good. Sashimi, are we facing the right direction? Looking good. And the Sydney series, Chock-a-Block, what we got going on? Yep. 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 Okay. It's just the ones that we listed then. And then Mad Suit, of course, we fixed up. So now we're should be facing the right direction towards the door. Okay. Good changes. Let's change these levels. So art exhibit first. While we're at it, let's also change the checkpoint that's over here. Okay, cool. I think those are good. Wait. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. That this entire area is not in the game anymore. Not in the game anymore. We don't need to worry about those. Same day showing. Let's see here. So start. Oh, this is shipyard. I need to go to same day shipping. That's a whole different level. Right. Right. I also heard something about how, I guess, aim assist doesn't work in the alpha levels. Is that... Did I hear that right? Enemy aim assist challenge target. Is the moving one, like, broken or something? Enemy aim assist challenge target. Maybe the aim... Is the aim assist broken on this one by chance? Is the aim assist, like, not aiming at the mesh, maybe? I'm guessing maybe that's the problem. I would have to fix that. We're having some problems there with that. I saw someone pointing that out. Next is oxtail. A bit of an awkward rotation. This is 90 degrees, so that's no problem. I hope all of the navigation, I didn't break any of the navigation, because that, fuck, it sucks. Let me just double check and make sure everything's fine. Okay. All right, I'll trust you just this once. All right, oil prints are, we are the complete opposite direction. And last but not least, rush B, which is just a slight adjustment. No problem there as well. Nothing too major for this one. Negative 90 for this one. All right. Or I guess we'd want to do 270. All right. Done. System to make player face specified orientation on spawn. Third person. Okay. Cool. It's almost been 4 hours. I'm going to hop out. I'm really hungry. My throat is dying. And yeah. So, on that note. On the note. On that note, I'll see you guys. What is tomorrow? See you guys tomorrow, I believe. I'm gonna fix a couple more things in here. Maybe I'll fix this. And there's a nice little neat patch, I think. So should be good. Yeah. And then I think after this patch we can do some more little quality of life stuff. Add in like aim assist intensity might be a good thing to add in. We are getting there. We're slowly dwindling down the list. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for lurking, chat, and sticking around. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. I'm hungry. Goodbye.